There was a time I used to spend every single waking hour looking for proof. Proof that my manifestations were working. Proof that the universe heard me. Proof that I wasn't just talking to my damn self. Every time I didn't see something, every time the physical world would stay exactly the same, that crushing wave of doubt and anxiety, frustration, and all the negativity associated with that would come rushing in. And it would start the whole cycle all over again, like Groundhog Day. What I'm going to share with you today is the exact mental adjustment I made when I stopped trying to know and simply just started to assume. And the moment that assumption became my unshakable truth, the universe and reality could move, started rearranging itself, quite frankly, in the best ways possible. And they worked out better than expected. So let's get straight into it, because the first thing we need to be honest about is this. Your need for proof is the cage. Now, let me show you what I mean. You don't know what you don't know. Here's what nobody tells you about the word know. When you say you know something, you're really just saying, this matches what I've already seen. That's it. It's just a pattern recognition from the old self, the old identity. But your manifestations, your desired reality, the new life you want doesn't exist in your past. It's never shown up in your physical world before. So by definition, you can't know it yet. And this is the trap. When you're sitting there refreshing reality, checking social accounts, bank accounts to see if any movement has happened, all you're really doing is using an old map to navigate a new territory. That map has no roads there. Of course you're lost. But here's what really gets me. If you don't know what you don't know, why would you ever use that against yourself? Think about how many times you've actually done that in your life quietly without even realizing it, unconsciously doing it. For example, I know that restaurant always gets bad service. They always mess up my drink. It takes forever to get seated. It's always just crowded, and I never have a good experience there. It just sucks. I hate that restaurant. Or I know that all men and women play games. It's pointless dating. There's no point. There's no serious relationships out there. There's no good men or women out there. Love is so hard. Or I know that you have to have a lot of money to make a lot of money. Or you have to come from a lot of money to make a business. And only if you have a lot of investors or people backing you, that's the only way you can have a successful business. Here's what I want you to notice. You didn't actually know any of those things. You assumed the knowing of them. You filled in a blank you didn't have the answer to, and you filled it in with the story that worked against you, didn't serve you. And that's the unconscious default. That's what we do when we're running on autopilot. We assume things a certain way, and then we call it knowing. We dress the assumption up in certainty and walk it around like a fact. So here's what I want you to sit with for a second. If you're already doing that, if you're already assuming it as a fact and calling it knowing, imagine for a second if you started to do that in ways that serve you. So instead of saying, I know that restaurant always gives me bad service and they always get it wrong, you say, I assume great service. It's because I know that's what I expect. Instead of, I know dating is going to be pointless these days, you say, I know he or she is going to be incredible because I know I only experience the best in love. Instead of, I know you need money to make money, you say, I assume my business is already moving because money and wealth love me. Same mechanism, different directions. You're already assuming, calling it knowing. Now you're just choosing what you assume. Here's the counterintuitive part. The universe isn't limited to what you've seen. It operates in the unseen, in the space you can't access yet. And when you get out of that way, the universe knows exactly what to do. I want to tell you about a specific period in my life where I was absolutely convinced, 1000% convinced that nothing was happening. My business was falling apart. My relationships with my friends were falling apart. People were leaving. My personal relationship with SP seemed to be just going in turmoil. Nothing seemed to be working. And I was living in my desired and I was doing all my techniques and everything else. And it just seemed like my life just went upside down and everything felt like in a dead zone. I kept wanting to see if anything was moving, if anything was happening. I was freaking out. What I didn't know at the time was that the universe was doing the most complex work in my life in that exact silence, in that dead zone that I just couldn't see. Every single piece was moved into place. I just couldn't see the board and all of its beautiful moving parts and pieces. I almost walked away. I almost just ended up giving up completely based on what I could see from my own human lens, not through my God lens, not through the I am, but just in my human lens of, man, nothing's working, nothing's happening. And what I want you to know is just because you can't see the bridge being built doesn't mean you aren't already crossing it. The construction doesn't stop because you need to see it. The rearrangement of things doesn't pause because you need proof or evidence. It just keeps going in your favor or not in your favor. That's all up to you and what you let it. The moment you demand to know the how it's all working and coming about is the moment you pull the workers off the job. Your assumption is literally your reality. Here's what I want you to understand on how this actually works. The universe is just a mirror. It doesn't create, it only reflects what you give it. Whatever you're broadcasting, whatever you're assuming true about yourself and your life, it takes that as full instructions. So if you're not actively assuming your new truth, if you're just waiting in a question mark, the mirror doesn't go blank or reset itself. It defaults. It reflects the old familiar story, the old identity, what you've already programmed it to be. You don't know what you don't know, but the universe will know it for you. The question is, which version are you letting it know? So here's the actual move. Stop trying to figure out the how. Stop trying to calculate the when. Stop auditing the progress. Those are troubled waters, and you were never meant to navigate in them. Your only job is the assumption, not the proof of the assumption, just the assumption itself. Let the universe handle the rest. That's its job. That's what it does. Assume the I am. When you finally make the mental adjustment, and when you actually stop needing to know, something really strange happens. You stop feeling out of control, which may sound backwards, right? Because you finally let go of all the tracking, the checking, and the monitoring. But here's what you got to understand. That control of you doing those things was never real in the first place. You were white knuckling a steering wheel in a parked car, if that paints a picture. The real sense of control, the actual ease of all of this, it comes from this. You know what you've assumed, and what you've assumed is your truth. Full stop. Not conditional truth. Not true if I see evidence. Just truth. You aren't trying to manifest anymore. You aren't trying to worry about your beliefs or perfect your techniques or do more affirmations or any of those things. You're just simply being the embodiment of someone who already has it now. It becomes your identity, a natural byproduct of who you're just being now. And from that place, reality just doesn't shuffle its way towards you. It magnetically snaps to you because you removed every single piece of resistance. Every but when, every but how, every but I don't see it yet. You just assumed. And the universe said, finally, let's go. So I want to leave you with this. You don't have to be an expert to change your life. You don't have to have the perfect belief, the perfect techniques, perfect affirmations, or even the perfect clarity. You just have to be willing to be wrong about what you think you know so you can be right about what you assume. And that's it. That's the whole adjustment. Quit knowing and start assuming and let the universe fill in every blank you leave open. Because the moment you stop gripping the answer finds its way to you. Now, quitting the need to know is just one of the steps. But if you're currently in that dead zone where you've assumed, you've stopped looking, you've let go, and you're just waiting in the dark in that silence, I made a video specifically covering that for this moment where it can really help you embody the wish fulfilled. That video should be up here. Click that, and I'll see you there.